Hello again, word lovers, and we arrive today at Persian, a mystery to me, as I know no Farsi, which is the modern equivalent, and it seems to me Persian gave birth to a lot of Arab words. Let's see what comes to us that could be identifiably Persian. As in English, we've got three periods. We've got Old Persian, Middle Persian, New Persian, which is what is spoken today, and we're talking about empires that began 400 years BCE. The word Persia is from Greek and Latin, meaning people of Persis, and Old Iranian people. And we're talking about what is more or less Iran today. The Achaemenid Empire in its day was the greatest the world had ever known in terms of area and had a successful centralized administration system. And this is the kind of world that will directly give us Old Persian words like seraglio, pasha, dervish. And we've seen already that some of the Arabic words have their origins in Persian, shah in chess. And we've traced back the mystery of lemon to Persian, although we don't really know if that is where it comes from or even where the plant comes from. And we've seen Persian in the tale of the princes of Serendip, giving us a word from its literature. Two similar sounding words, saffron and zircon. The medieval Latin saffranum coming from Persian zarpar, meaning a gold string, and in the case of zircon, coming via German, via Arabic, via Persian, meaning gold-coloured, and possibly back to Syriac, zargon. More Persian words that found their way into Arabic. Sandal, for example, vizier. Is that from wazir, the Arabic, meaning someone who carries? Or is it from Middle Persian, vishir, which means judge? Tulip, surprisingly, is from Persian, dulband. And the idea of china being used to describe plates and crockery is also Persian. And as before, we have a host of words which I took to be Indian, words which in fact flowed from west to east, back into India from Persian. Tandoori from tanur, oven. Kaki from Persian meaning earth or soil. Samosa is Persian sambusa meaning folded over. The archetypal Indian instrument, the sitar. Si, three, tar, string. Three-string, sitar. And a word that sounds as American, seersucker, goes back to Persian shir or shakar, milk and sugar, shir shakar, milk and sugar. This was the description of striped cloth. The expression for striped cloth, milk and sugar, shir shakar, becomes seersucker in modern English. Tapestry has an Iranian source. Earlier on in Persian would be taftan, related to the word for turning and twisting. Musk has a nice story. Late Latin muscus, from Persian musk, from muska in Sanskrit meaning testicle, possibly diminutive of mus, mouse. So there were your little mice. Cassock we've already seen, meaning the long garment worn by priests was in fact a padded jacket in Persian. Kaj is raw silk plus arand, stuffed with raw silk. Kajagan. Caviar isn't Russian, it's Persian. It's connected with egg, possibly egg bearing, and a colour from Persian with an interesting consonant mutation here. We call it lilac, lilac coming from nilak, so the N changed to an L. This meant bluish, and possibly came from nil, meaning indigo. Well, if so, that's been preserved all this time, as indigo in Spanish is anil to this day. Now there is one more Persian word I thought I'd look at, and it's the Persian word gul, and it means rose. Now you might not know this word, but it's used in heraldry to mean red. So gul meaning red. It is, I should say, a false etymology. So it's not from Persian word for rose. That's a nice fancy. Where is it from? Well, there's an installment on heraldic terms coming up.